Mr. Granger assumed the presidency, and he was not of the same thinking as Robert Corbyn. He did not believe, as we now can say, given his performance as leader of the APNU. He's not a coalition person. He's not. He's a person that believes in the dominance of the big party.
Those were the views expressed by executive member of the Working People's Alliance, WPA, Dr. David Hinds, during a recording of HGP-TV's weekly program Beyond the Surface. Hinds continued with his bashing of the former president by claiming that he is responsible for the so-called dismantling of the coalition.
And so, in many regards, Mr. Granger, from the day he took office, began to dismantle what Robert Corbyn, Clive Thomas, and Rupert Rupnaraine had built. And his first blow to that unity was his premature ending of the Commission of Inquiry.
Hinds alleges that on nomination day during the 2020 election, the WPA was about to leave the coalition due to the fact that some members of the largest party in the coalition, the People's National Congress, was reportedly cherry-picking members of the WPA to sit in leadership capacities, and further, that the WPA had no say with regard to decision-making while the party was in government. Following the 2020 election, the WPA walked away from the coalition. This followed the selection of Tabita Sarabo Hali, a WPA member to represent the APNU AFC in the National Assembly, following the culmination of the 2020 election debacle, which the WPA strongly objected to, citing that it should be allowed to choose who represents the party at those forums. Sarabo Hali subsequently resigned from the WPA and joined the coalition, where she currently sits as a member of the National Assembly and has since formed her own party, the Ghana Nation Builders Movement, GNBM. Nightly News questioned Hinds as to why he is only now speaking out on the matter, and further why his party did not exit the coalition sooner, if they were so aggrieved by the circumstances they were allegedly faced with.
And there was always a healthy 50% of the party that wanted us to leave. And then there were the others who were saying, well, if we leave, we would be blamed as the spoilers, as the one who break it up. You see how Sharon Das ended up? We would have ended up like that.
Meanwhile, a missive in circulation from some members of the Central Executive Committee of the PNCR registered disapproval of what they deemed to be the unilateral acceptance of two new parties, the Ghana Nation Builders Movement and the Equal Rights and Justice Party formed by Jaipal Sharma into the APNU. In the statement, the members of the Central Executive Committee said, and I quote, "It is therefore an affront to the entire party for the leader and the General Secretary to violate the party's constitution and expect to not be sanctioned. The party's organs must be respected and their decisions adhered to. The party leader and General Secretary, therefore, have no authority to override the decisions of the Central Executive Committee." End quote. Meanwhile, Dr. Hinds asserted that former President David Granger lacks the vision to unite the APNU, much less the country.
We are more divided today than when Mr. Granger took office, partly because he did not have a vision of how to unite a country, how to heal a country. You heal a country not just by chatting, but by sometimes putting your reputation on the line.
Wendell Badrie, HGP Nightly News.